سلام، من هنای قصه هستم. اومدم اینجا یک صحبت صمیمانه و دوستانه با جو داشته باشم در مورد سفرمون به جنوب شرق آسیا. کی و کجا همدیگر رو دیدیم، کی تصمیم گرفتیم این سفر رو شروع کنیم، کلن توی این یک سالی که ما با همدیگه آشنا شدیم چه اتفاقاتی افتاد و الان کجا هستیم و برنامه‌های بعدیمون چیه. Hi Joe.
Hello.
I want to talk with you about this trip.
Okay.
When and where you met Hannah.
Oh, Hannah.
Yes.
So,
She is trouble.
yeah, she is
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
I met Hannah in Sweden last year, literally exactly almost a year ago, on a tour I was on. She was on a different tour, and our tours came together, and we met initially in Sweden, and she doesn't remember me, but I remember her because she was always taking videos and pictures, and she would interrupt my pictures when she was taking her pictures, and I often had to wait for her to finish so I could take a photo.
خب میگه که ما توی یک تور با هم دیگه بودیم. در واقع من هنا رو توی سوئد دیدم، من ایشون رو ندیده بودم و هنا همش مزاحم عکاسی من میشد و اجازه نمیداد من عکاسی کنم و هر جا می‌خواستم برم عکس بگیرم اون میرفت زودتر عکس میگرفت و من باید منتظر میمونم عکاسیش رو تموم کنه و بعد من برم سر وقت عکاسی. Then what happened?
Then our tour was set up between English speaking and Spanish speaking, and the English tour guide disappeared. And then the Spanish tour guide was giving instructions, but they were giving him instructions in Spanish. And I didn't understand because I don't speak Spanish. I did take a little bit of Spanish in high school, so I thought maybe if I listened very carefully, I might know. And I had no idea.
It was your fault.
It was not my fault.
خب جو گفتش که تورمون به 2 قسمت تقسیم میشد، یعنی یک قسمت انگلیسی زبان ها بودن، یک قسمت اسپانیایی زبان ها بودن. در واقع آژانسی که تور رو هندل کرده بود، مدیریت کرده بود، مال اسپانیا بود و یه موقعی رسید که لیدر شروع کرد به اسپانیایی صحبت کردن و از اونجایی که من یه مقداری توی دبیرستان اسپانیایی خونده بودم خیلی تمرکز کردم و احساس کردم که میتونم یک مقداری رو متوجه بشم. It wasn't in Sweden.
It was Sweden when I met you, but the incident was in Finland.
Yes. وقتی این اتفاق افتاد و ایشون تمرکز کرد when you concentrated on Spanish, it was Finland.
So, yes. So,
فنلاند بود.
she came to me and said, hey, what did they say? And I was like, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
It was like this. Very serious. Very concentrated. And I thought you can understand Spanish. So I needed help. So I asked you for help.
No. That's not what happened. She was like, what did he say? And I was like, I don't know. I'm an American. I don't know anything. So, she's mistaken.
Yeah.
And then what happens is on the tour is there's a lot of families together and a lot of different groups together. And since I am a solo traveler and Hannah's a solo traveler, we were just paired together as often because everyone else had their own groups. So usually all the solo travelers get brought together and we just happen to be solo travel. We were the only solo travelers on that tour. So they forced us to sit together, and oftentimes
they
you would
forced us.
Yeah.
It was destiny that forced us to be together during the tour.
So then we would go on the tour, and then
we went to the cafe I ordered what? Matcha latte?
I don't know. You always order coffee. Yeah.
Coffee? I'm always into the coffee.
Yeah.
And you ordered green tea. I can remember.
I don't remember any of that. I drink tea, so I don't drink coffee. So then we just ended up spending time together, and it was nice having company. For me, at that point, I'd been traveling alone for like 2.5 weeks.
2 هفته و نیم بود تنهایی مسافرت میکرد.
So it's nice.
Like inspiration, someone that, you know, came to save you.
You didn't save me. Yeah, like it's just nice to have company. So then we met, and then we hung out together for the rest of the time that you were there.
Yeah.
Because then we went to Estonia, and then you left in Latvia. But then I continued on my journey, and I went to Lithuania and Poland by myself again. And then you went home.
خب گفت تو بندان همدیگر رو دیدیم. اکثر گروه به صورت خانواده بودن یا افرادی که با همدیگه سفر میکردن. ما جزء تقریبا اعضای مثلا اندک اعضای گروه بودیم که دوتایی به تنهایی سفر میکردیم و خب این باعث شد که سمت همدیگه بیاییم و با همدیگه شروع کنیم به صحبت کردن. رفتیم کافه و نوشیدنی سفارش دادیم، بعد قدم زدیم. یک چیزی هم که در مورد جو برای من جالب بود و جذاب بود، one thing that attracted me to you is that you knew Iran. ایران رو میشناخت. یعنی نگفت ایران کجاست؟ چیه؟ And some people, you know, by mistake, they think that Iran and Iraq is same country. You know, so you knew about them. So it made me really happy and really proud.
I tried to be aware of the world and the things that happen in the world.
میگه تلاش دارم در مورد اون چیزی که در جهان میگذره آگاه باشم.
And I try to. So Iran is a large country in the Middle East. I learned a lot about it in high school in regards to ancient history. And then more recent history, I'd say, is probably in the 70s originally, when the U.S. Embassy, issues with the U.S. Embassy in Iran. And then I was aware of the war between Iraq and Iran.
در مورد جنگ ایران و عراق میدونست و بقایی که تو سفارت آمریکا تو ایران اتفاق افتاده بود.
And that was important to know because of the U.S. conflict in Iraq and understanding Iraq's history and how Iraq and Iran had been enemies for a very long time. So it helped to understand all that, and Iran is part of that history.
خب به خاطر اون چیزایی که توی عراق اتفاق میافتاد و آمریکا هم یک نقشی در اون داشت، جو فهمیده بود و میدونست که ایران و عراق دو تا کشور جداگونه هستن و خب اون چیزی که از تاریخ ایران بالاخره توی کتاب‌ها نوشته شده بود و مشخص بودش که ایران یک کشور بزرگ و یک تمدن قدیمیه. I can't remember why and when we made this plan to travel together to the South Asia.
So it was really my plan. Yeah.
نقشه جو بود که با هم به جنوب شرق آسیا سفر کنیم. You already told me, but
yes.
I thought that, you know, he's talking about something and it's bullshit and let it go.
So my mother is Vietnamese and she's older. She's 84. And I thought it would be good to go to Vietnam and visit family, her family. And I thought that she'd be proud of that, to be able to see that her son had gone back to her native country. And so that's when I decided, since she's so much older, that it's important that I do that sooner than later.
و با خودم گفتم که این خیلی بهتره که الان اتفاق بیفته تا اینکه دیر بشه.
And Hannah had mentioned that she had been to Vietnam.
من گفتم ویتنام بودم قبلا.
And I don't know very many people that go to Vietnam.
آدمای زیادی رو نمیشناخت به ویتنام رفته باشن.
So I would often ask her questions about Vietnam to try to understand some of the challenges I would have and some of the things I need to resolve. And she was very helpful in giving me information. And then it came up as to, would she be willing to go back to Vietnam? And it'd be nice to have someone who I could travel with that already has the lay of the land and understand the world.
و فکر کردم بهتره با کسی سفر کنم قبلا به اون کشور سفر کرده و اون سرزمین رو میشناسه.
In America, there are a lot of people that do go to Vietnam, and I do know a handful of people that have gone back to Vietnam. But usually it's a family affair. They're going back to see family, or they married someone who's Vietnamese and they've gone back to do that for a specific purpose. So I knew I was going to have to go back to Vietnam, and since I love to travel and I like to do lots of different things, I thought it would be a good idea to see Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos as part of that experience. So that's kind of what created the basis of my travel plans. And then I started creating investigating different tours that would tour these 4 countries within a reasonable amount of time. I actually would have loved to have extended or made my trip longer and seen a little bit more of Thailand, because I really heard a lot of wonderful things about Phuket, and I thought it'd be fun to go to Phuket. But because of all the logistics, it just wasn't possible for me to include everything that I wanted to. When I looked at Vietnam, my mother's family is primarily from Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City. But I've heard so many wonderful things about Hanoi. And I thought that while I'm there, it would be foolish for me not to try to go to Hanoi. So that's what I knew. I knew that I wanted to see these 4 countries, and there really wasn't a lot of choices. So I did hire a travel agent, and my first travel agent was not good. They never got back to me or anything like that, and I was getting antsy because I want to have things booked. So then I got a different travel agency, and they worked very quickly, and they managed to get me an affordable price. And once I had that planned, I asked you to join me if you wanted to join on this trip, and you agreed, and this is where we are. So you and I are currently on this tour, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been good that that I'm not alone again, because traveling alone is not as fun as traveling with friends.
خب من یه خلاصه از حرفای جو رو میگم بهتون که در مورد سفر به ویتنام گفت که این قضیه فقط یک قضیه توریستی براش نبود و یک بخش خانوادگی بود. تو آمریکا افرادی هستن که به ویتنام سفر کردن، ولی هدف جو این بودش که اعضای خانوادهش رو ببینه و با خودش فکر کرد که حالا که من که دارم این همه مسافت رو به ویتنام میام، چه بهتره که تایلند و لاوس و کامبوج رو هم در کنارش ببینم. در مورد تایلند خیلی چیزای خوبی شنیده بود، در مورد جاهای دیدنش، مثلا پوکت و خب جزایر دیگرش، ولی از اونجایی که زمانش خیلی محدود بود نمیتونست همه رو هم دیگه هندل کنه. در ابتدا با یک آژانس هماهنگ کرد ولی دیدش که اون آژانس کارش رو خوب انجام نمیده و بعد این آژانس رو پیدا کرد که سفر رو برنامه ریزی کرد و در ادامه توضیح دادش که سفری که همراه با یک آدم باشه خیلی جذابتر از سفریه که به تنهایی باشه. تمام این برنامه ها رو با من مطرح کرد و من گفتم که باشه من هم سفرت میشم و این کشورها رو رفتم، در موردشون اطلاعات دارم و یک آدمی هم که خب در هر حال سفر میکنم و عاشق سفر هستم و زمانم رو میتونم باهات اوکی کنم. One more question. How long you've been on the flight?
Oh, geez.
چقدر داخل پرواز بودش؟
So originally my flight was supposed to be 13 hours, a little more than 13 hours.
13 or 30?
13, 1-3.
1-3.
Yep.
13 ساعت بود پروازش.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
But there was some complications. All right, I take that back. There's 13 hours to Korea.
Mhm.
And then from Korea to Bangkok is another 6 hours.
Mhm.
So I was scheduled to have around 20 hours in the air.
حدود 20 ساعت توی پرواز بودم.
But there was an issue. The issue was some new restrictions came when commercial flights fly from the United States.
Yeah.
We're no longer allowed to fly into Russian airspace.
Oh.
So my flight went from 13 hours to 16 hours.
Wow.
And then I flew another 6 hours. So it ended up being around 23 hours for me to get to Bangkok.
23 ساعت طول کشید به بانکوک برسن. چطور؟ قرار بود پروازش از آمریکا به کره جنوبی 13 ساعت باشه، ولی از اونجایی که بالاخره داره از آمریکا میاد با پرواز آمریکایی و آمریکایی هست، یک مقدار مشکلات برای پرواز روی حریم هوایی روسیه وجود داشت براش و این پروازی که 13 ساعت قرار بود باشه 16 ساعت شد و 6 ساعت هم از which city? سئول؟
Seoul, yes.
از سئول تا بانکوک پرواز داشتن که جمعاً 23 ساعت پرواز شد.
One thing too is I am literally, for me, I am literally on the opposite side of the planet from where I live. I am 12 hours ahead of where I live. So I am exactly opposite sides of the planet.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I can get much further away from my home.
Yeah. میگه که خب فکر نمی‌کنم این رو من خودم خیلی دقیق متوجه نشدم. اگه متوجه شدی ترجمه این قسمت رو برای من توی کامنت ها بنویس و من خیلی ازت ممنونم. ولی راجع به یه پرواز 12 ساعته صحبت کرد که گفت اگه از خونم میومدم به حالا مثلا کره جنوبی حدود 12 ساعت طول میکشید، ولی دقیق این جمله رو من متوجه نشدم. تو اگه متوجه شدی حتما تو کامنت ها برای من بنویس که منم بدونم که ایشون چی گفت. What's your biggest fear about this trip? بزرگترین ترست از این سفر چی بود؟
My biggest fear on all trips
تمام سفر بزرگترین ترس من بود.
Getting sick.
مریض شدن.
I don't. You work really hard and you spend a lot of money and you spend a lot of time planning and trying to make things work so you can see and have certain experiences. And nothing is worse than having to miss those experiences. So for me, it's getting sick. If I get sick and I'm unable to participate or unable to see things, that would make me sad. Anything that would steal time away from what it is I want to do, to me is something I fear. So in this trip, it got very complicated. For this trip, it could be problems with your visa, problems with customs, problems with the food you eat, you know. So you try as hard as you can to prepare and to have everything resolved. But no trip is ever perfect. No trip ever works out the way that you want it to, you know. And for me, you know, it started off poorly because of the flight delays and the flight issues. I spent the night in Korea, which I didn't anticipate, you know. But I mean, those are the things that I fear the most, is just anything that can get in the way of the experiences I hope to find.
خب بزرگترین ترسش از این سفر مریض شدن بود. حالا گفت ترس‌های دیگه هم وجود داشت، اینکه مثلا توی فرودگاه مشکل پیش بیاد، توی پرواز و اینکه تو پروازش تأخیر به وجود اومد و باعث شد یک شب رو توی کره بگذرونه. ولی باز هم بزرگترین ترسش از این سفر مریض شدن بود و اینکه مریض شدن خیلی از برنامه‌ها رو میتونه تحت شعاع قرار بده. What is the most interesting part of this trip till now?
You know, the food is very interesting here. It's very different here than what I'm accustomed to seeing. For me, what I love and appreciate is the wildlife. Even though I don't see a lot of it, I didn't plan to see a lot of it. I don't see a lot of the things that we've seen here. Like, I don't see monkeys just walking around, or large bugs, or just all types of stuff. So like, those are always kind of unexpected, and I think those things are exciting to see that, especially in their own habitat.
What about elephants?
Elephants? I don't see elephants. No, I don't see elephants where I live.
Have you ever touched elephants?
Maybe when I was a kid at the zoo or something, but to me, I also like the history, and the temples here, especially in Cambodia, were very amazing to see. So I did appreciate that.
خب این رو هم من بگم که سفر ما از تایلند شروع شد. ما اومدیم کامبوج، تایلند حدوداً. We were 8 days in Thailand, yes?
I don't know.
I think we've been 8 days in Thailand and 3 days in Cambodia. ما 8 روز تقریبا در تایلند بودیم، 3 روز توی کامبوج و بعد and then you will go to Vietnam and I couldn't get visa. من نتونستم ویزا رو بگیرم. الان سال 1404 هست، مهر ماه، امروز 27 مهر ماه 1404 هست. ویتنام ویزای انفرادی به ایرانی ها نمیده. من چون حدوداً 6-7 سال پیش به ویتنام سفر کرده بودم، فکر نمی کردم که این مشکل وجود داشته باشه. Because I've traveled to Vietnam about 6 or 7 years ago, I never thought that this issue may happen. So I didn't expect this. تا آخرین لحظه هم واقعا همه جوره تلاش کردم. 2 بار سفارت تایلند در ایران، 1 بار سفارت تایلند در بانکوک با افراد مختلف کانکت شدم، صحبت کردم. حتی تو خود سفارت هم خیلی راهنمایی کردم، ولی آخرش نتونستم به هیچ عنوان ویزا رو بگیرم و 2-3 ساعت پیش هم نشستم کلی گریه کردم. I said that I cried couple of hours ago. But I'm happy that I will meet you in Laos. ولی حدوداً 1 هفته دیگه جو رو در لاوس میبینم و then we will come back to Thailand together with tour و بعد با هم دیگه برمیگردیم تایلند. حالا من فکر میکنم شاید وظیفه من این بود که جورودها ویتنام برسونم و ویتنام به تنهایی بره. I'm really sorry, I really feel sorry that you must travel to Vietnam alone because I myself encourage you and I really like Vietnam. I've been in Vietnam and I like everything about this country: food, people, greenery, rice farms, and also the snake I saw in the bottle of wine. Everything was really interesting for me in Vietnam, and I feel really pity that I can travel, but it's okay. I will meet you next week. And one more question.
Okay.
How much this trip cost for you? About because people are really curious to know about the expenses. Flight from US to here and tour and food, and I don't need like exact money that you pay, just a summary of the expenses.
So the tour included a lot of all the expenses. It included a lot of the food, and all the hotel stays and everything like that.
Transfer,
Yeah,
wow.
I mean everything. It was the tour was very comprehensive. I don't recall the exact dollar amount because I paid it a while ago.
خیلی وقت پیش پرداخت کردم، خیلی دقیق یادم نیست.
And I want to say it was maybe $4,000 US for the trip. Now that doesn't include the flight, and I managed to get lucky on the flight because I used some miles and some other things. I think the flight cost me like $1,400. But that
سفر حدوداً
even that's not accurate because I have a stop in Tokyo and I'll be spending some time in Tokyo.
و بعد از این تور هم جو میخواد به توکیو بره و یه زمانی رو در توکیو بگذرونه. Do you think that you will travel to this area, to this region again?
Oh, who knows?
میگه که ازش پرسیدم که آیا فکر میکنی که آیا به این سفر دوباره بیایی؟ میگه خب کی میدونه.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And what's your plan for your next trip? It's imaginary. What do you like?
Oh, I don't know. In my mind, I probably have 20 trips I want to go on. So a lot of it has to, will determine on cost and the geopolitical atmosphere of certain countries.
Free time.
Yeah. What time of year I'll be able to go. So I won't be able to know that until, like I understand my work. I have a job. So like when it's convenient for me to miss work, when it's convenient for me to afford it, when are there good deals. I try not to just say this trip, like I don't have a set schedule. I just try to pick the best variables that match up with the best trip. So I try to be as flexible as possible.
منعطفه، یعنی تا حدی که بتونه منعطفه، حالا تا سفر بعدی رو بتونه با توجه به شرایطش برنامه‌ریزی کنه. When you back home, do you think what thing changed in you? وقتی به خونه برگردی فکر می‌کنی چی در تو تغییر کرده؟
I think with any trip I go on, it helps me, it humbles me. I always feel more humbled.
هر سفری که میرم منو بیشتر فروتن میکنه.
And I also appreciate the things in my life more, whether that be my personal relationships with people or the things that I have. Just traveling is a luxury, so I try to honor that and just appreciate that.
Yeah. Do you think that one day you will travel to Iran?
I don't know.
That's
a decision that our governments are going to have to figure out first.
میگه این یک تصمیم، آیا ازش پرسیدم که آیا فکر می‌کنی یک روزی به ایران سفر کنه؟ میگه این یک تصمیمیه که فکر می‌کنم که اول از همه دولت‌ها باید در موردش بگیرن و بعد نوبت به ما میرسه. خب یک چیزی که میخوام در مورد جو بگم اینه که بسیار آدم آروم، بسیار مؤدب، بسیار محترم و بسیار همسفر خوبیه. One thing I want to tell about you that you are very quiet, sometimes noisy, and very respectful, very polite, and very, very nice person. I always see respect from you to other people, and I felt it, I touched it with my heart, and honestly, I appreciate that. So thanks for being such a nice person. You impressed me, and somehow
Oh.
I want to tell it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. خب من امیدوارم که این گفتگو رو دوست داشته باشید. اگه سوالی دارید بنویسید، چون من یک دور دیگه جو رو در لاوس میبینم. دوست داشتید اگه این گفتگو رو لایک کنید، کامنت بذارید، کانال رو سابسکرایب کنید و کنار من باشید. بای بای.